to introduce our next guest, Jose Angel Pereira. Jose is former CEO of Citgo Petroleum and with a remarkable career spanning over 35 years in the oil industry. Jose led Citgo, one of the largest refining complexes in the United States, through numerous strategic initiatives and international ventures. However, his leadership journey took an unexpected and harrowing turn when he was wrongfully detained in Venezuela in 2017, along with 5 of his colleagues, collectively known as the Citgo Six. Now, he endured nearly 5 years of captivity, facing false accusations of corruption and espionage. Yet, despite these unimaginable challenges, he emerged resilient, turning his traumatic experience into a mission of advocacy and support for others facing similar adversities. His story is not just one of survival, but of profound strength and unyielding hope. Today, he leverages his experience and personal trials to inspire and coach others through his program, Life Pills for a Survival Guide. His dedication to helping others overcome obstacles and thrive in the adversity is a testament to his indomitable spirit and leadership. Please join me in welcoming Jose Pereira, a beacon of resilience and an advocate for justice and human rights. Jose, welcome.
Thank you very much. Wow, what introduction. I didn't expect that. Really great introduction. You took part of my speech, Well, thank you for having me here. It's an honor, by the way. Wonderful your speech. I was, hearing all the speech has been really great. And, I was thinking when I was invited by Anshu to speak here about the art of positive thinking, I said, well, this has been my story because, that exactly was what made me survive. So to the people that doesn't know me and with the introduction you gave, as you said, I did this long career in the oil and gas, and literally I was living my perfect life. In 2017, I was ready to get retired that year because the people maybe are not aware, but Citgo Petroleum is a large corporation here in the US that belongs to the Venezuelan oil and gas that is PDVSA. So PDVSA is the owner of Citgo. And I began my career back to the 80s in PDVSA, did 20 plus years in PDVSA, and then I was assigned here to the US to Citgo Petroleum and continued my career path, and at the end I became the CEO of the company. So really I was in the pinnacle of my career. And that the situation between Venezuela and the US began to be not so good, so I decided to get retired. My thing is that I went to my boss, I said, hey, I'm gonna get retired, I'm gonna become a consultant, and I was planning my perfect life after that, getting retired. So, but not everything in life is how you plan it. And when you do too much plans in your life, sometimes when the things doesn't go the way you're thinking, there comes the negative thoughts. So in my case, I received a phone call to go to an unexpected trip to Caracas to make a presentation in November 21, 2017. And that became my worst of my nightmares because we were there, we were captured there, we were accused to be American spies. We were accused to commit treason, and we were accused to have committed corruption and embezzlement. During the next 5 years, our situation became a nightmare. But my first year was really, really dark. When I say dark, it's dark. So here comes a turning point, because anybody can be victim of their own beliefs and their own thoughts. I was captive physically. But how much of the people are captive mentally? How much people are not captive of their thoughts? This speech is to them, to the people that are going to this situation, because the thing that I had to face can really help you to free your lives and release from your own captivity. So when I got to this situation, we went to an extreme physical and mental situation, because physically we began to get really deteriorated physically. I lost 100 pounds. And mentally, can you imagine that the challenge? I was 1 year in a solitary confinement. And during that year, I had the lights 24/7 turn on, hearing physical torture, because this is a communist regime. So for me, mentally, it was a real challenge. I can tell you, at the beginning, I was lost, I was clueless, I was hopeless, and I was having some bad thoughts. But there comes a turning point, because at some point, I received a phone call from my wife, and my wife made an unexpected travel to Venezuela, and she visited me. When she visited me, I had the opportunity to talk with her, and I learned, first, that they were fighting hard to bring me back. Second, that the US government was really committed to bring us back. So that was a turning point. That was a turning point, and then comes the way you begin to see the things in a different way. I heard from one of the speakers saying that it depends the way that is your mindset, if it's a positive mindset or a negative mindset, and it's something that is by choice. That is totally true, because that was our case. I decided to shift my negative thoughts and begin to have positive thoughts, because now I'm having hope. There is something important. Now I'm having hope. And having hope because now I know that my family, my support of my loved ones are backing me, are fighting hard. And then that gave me a boost of hope. After some time, because we were 6 guys, you mentioned it, we became to be called the Citgo 6. That was the name that the press put us. We became like a brand. So if anybody is yeah, you can go and Google us. I remember that during 2019, 2020 time frame, maybe 250,000 articles were writing about our case, because our case really began to raise the level and became to be part of the high politics here between Venezuela and the US. This was prior to the situation with Ukraine, but the sanctions they were imposing Venezuela were very similar. And the situation began to go so tense that even they expelled the US ambassador. So now I'm in this situation, and all this pressure that is going in the press, they decided to put us the 6 together after 1 year. So that gave us another boost of hope, because now you have that circle of support. In any adversity, never navigate your things alone. That is another lesson that I'm going to say here. You have to have people that support you. When you are going to any adversity in life, it can be any adversity, because my case was an extreme case, but you can have any adversity in your life. Get surrounded by the people that love you. And if you're in your workplace, if you're the boss, if you're the CEO, surrounded by your peers, surrounded by the people that work with you, surrounded by your employees. So any adversity, you need to have that connection. So now we're having this boost of hope. Now we're having a different mindset. Now we're looking things in a different way, because now we're trying to be focused. Any situation in life, you need to be focused, because when you get focused in the situation, you can begin to see all those things that you can control and all those things that you cannot control. So now we are aware where we are. Now we were aware the situation where we are. We knew there was a very extreme situation, but we didn't have no way to control it, because it was a really high politics. So what we decided, leave it in the hands of our family, and then we did another switch, that we begin to look inside our inner force and begin to look to our spirituality. So we begin to get connected to God. We begin to pray. We begin to read the Bible. We begin to study the Bible. We really did really serious Bible studies, because we were doing almost in 3 hours a day. So now we are having that connection. Any adversity in your life, you need to go back to your spirituality, always. I heard one of the speakers that talking about meditation. Yeah, the meditation, that is part of that you can connect with your inner force. So when we were the 6 guys putting together, we decided to create what we call a survivor plan. We were executives, oil and gas executive, all of us, 30 years plus of experience, have a life full of challenging in oil and gas. Anybody that knows the industry is really challenging because there are a lot of issues, and you always have to have this strategic mindset. So we decided to create our own survival plan. That survival plan today is part of what is my coaching program. I call it Life Built for a Survivor Guide, because we created that survival plan there in the jail. So what we did, being calm and focused, because you need to be calm. When you're in any adversity, you need to be calm. You need to be calm. Even if you think that things are going bad, you have to be calm and focused. Now you're having that positive mindset. When you have the positive mindset, you begin to see the things different. And remember, anything you think and anything you say becomes your reality. So sometimes when you are having negative thoughts, your reality, what is going to be? It's going to be negative. When you are having positive mindset, you're going to begin to see the things in a different way. And believe me, sometimes the answer is in front of you and you're not looking at it. Now we're having that connection to our loved one, and now we're having the connection to God in our inner force. And the next thing is take care of your physical and your mental health. One of the things that we did there, even when we were in solitary confinement, the six of us, we were confined. We were put in a very tiny room. We begin to exercise. We begin to do yoga. We begin to do meditation. We begin to do static running, push-ups. We begin to read. We begin to write. I begin to write because one of the things that I decided to do, I took the risk. They began to smuggle letters to my wife. But after 1 year, we began to receive food from our families because the situation of the food was really bad there. So our family began to provide our food. Can you imagine that all the logistics that they had to do to put the food every week in Venezuela was a challenge. One of my kids, he had to move to Colombia, etc. But I was receiving food three times in a week. So when I was returning the trash can, I began to smuggle letters. When I began to smuggle those letters, that gave me another boost of hope, because now I'm more connected. Now I'm more aware of what's going on. Now I'm more focused. Now I'm more positive. Now I'm taking care of my mental and my physical health. Believe me, my friend, that your situation begin to change. So being reading, being writing, doing exercise, and praying and having fun. We begin to play that. In any adverse situation, try to look at things in a positive way and try to have fun. Sometimes when you're having some bad situation, you get so depressed that you see everything in the sad side. So try to have some fun in your life. When you put all these things together, and the final thing that I'm going to say here is find your purpose. We found in our case that our purpose was coming back in one piece, in mental and physical health, in body and soul, in spirit to our family, and we did it consistently for the rest of the time. One day in October 1st, 2022, after 5 years, they opened their door and we were released through a prisoner swap. And I came back here to the US after that, after 5 years, and I'm here. And not only I'm here, I decided to talk about this like I'm doing today. I decided to write my book based on those letters that I wrote, that is called From Hero to Villain, My True Story of the Citgo 6. I have my coaching program based on this, and today I'm a strong advocate for the hostage community here in the US. So I decided to do a turning point in my life. I decided to begin to use it. I decided to talk that anything in life you can really survive it, because you have the choice to have a positive mindset, have positivity in your life. And this is something that for me has been so key, expressing gratitude. I heard several of the person talking about the gratitude. So important to express gratitude. When we found all what was going on, and now we're focused, we begin to get adapted to the situation. That doesn't mean that you're going to be, but you need to adapt because it's the situation that you're living. So we begin to adapt to our situation, we become more resilient, and we begin to express gratitude. Today, for me, every day I express gratitude for even for the small things in life. When I wake in the morning, that I'm breathing, I have my two dogs, my two pugs, they are me. I had two pugs, so they snore a lot. So when these guys are snoring in the morning, for me is a joy. So when I go and walk them and see the fresh air, is a joy. Today I really enjoy these moments. So those small things in life are so important. And today I feel it. And I have a great connection to my God. I decided the first thing that I did when I came back was going to church. Today I do church service. I'm very connected to my church. My wife today, by the way, there's a very big woman congress in my church, more than 1,000 ladies. She's there today. And well, that became my life. My life, I decided to turn this, that should have been something negative, from something positive, because that was my choice. Because as I said, everything you think, everything you say, it becomes your reality. So my reality today was that I decided to use this. I'm not gonna say that I'm happy that this happened to me, but I'm happy the lessons I learned about this happened to me. Because today that I have that great connection to my spirituality, I know that God has for you always a master. And there are some mysterious ways that he uses. And he has many ways to go to do it. Sometimes you're going to have roadblocks. Sometimes you're going to have setbacks. Sometimes you're going to go through a lot of struggles in life. And you can read it in the Bible. All the disciples, all the prophets always went through tragedies, adversities. So this is part of our life. But the way you decided to face it is what is going to make the difference. So I want to really finalize here, giving the conclusion to the people that are hearing this, that believe me, that if you are going to any situation in your life, I'm a live testament that the things can be done. I'm a live testament that if you go to any situation, it depends the way that you decided to overcome it, how you're going to go through it. If you're going to do it in a negative way, you're going to stay depressed and you're going to have anxiety. If you decided to go in a positive way, you're going to overcome it. Even if something really bad going in your life, you can think in anything that is going in your life and get connected with the people that love you. In my case, for me, was key the support of my family, of my wife, of my siblings, or all these, or my colleagues that were with me. Today, we created this strong bond, and well, it became part of our life. And this is something that you never thought that it could happen, but it happened. And now I'm connected to the hospice community here in the US. I always say that is the family that I was not asking to have, but it became my family. Now we have a circle of support. I work with the foundations here in the US that work in that area. I have been also invited to talk about this in the Congress. And for me, it's important that my message go out, because not only to raise the awareness of the situation happening to, unfortunately, to other Americans here in the US, is that really you can have ways to face your own adversities. Anything in your life, you can face it. Anything, you can survive it. But it's the way you decided to face it in a positive way. So today that we're talking about the art of positive thinking, that's it, my friend. Positive thinking.
Wonderful.
Make everything. So thank you very much for having me, and thank you for hearing me.
Oh, Jose, thank you so much. What a wonderful story of overcoming. Truly an inspiration. Definitely going to have another conversation with you to talk about what your program is. is there a way that people can get in touch with you? Your website or what?
Yeah, I have my website. It's very easy, Jose Connect. You go to Jose Connect, you will find my coaching, you will find my speaking. I have a speech that is called From Captivity to Freedom, and I have one that's called the 4X to be a successful leader. And I have another one that is how overcoming adversity through the trauma and thriving. So I have several speeches that I do, always in framing this. I have my book that is going to be out in maybe in 2 weeks. Today is in pre-order. You can find it there. I have a newsletter that I publish every week in LinkedIn. I begin a audio room and a radio talk show every Monday morning in a Christian channel, because I now am very connected with the Christian community. I'm now part of the Christian speaking bureau called the C-Suite of Christ, where there are a lot of C-Suite people. And, you know, this was a life-changing for me, and this is the way I decided to overcome it. And Jose Connect, you can find me there, and I'm very active too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose. Really appreciate it.